The city laid sprawled beneath a ghostly, luminous moon as the friends, weighed down by the aftermath of their unwitting deeds, congregated in a dimly lit basement. A palpable sense of anticipation lingered in the air, and the flickering candles cast an eerie and foreboding aura across their apprehensive faces. There was a sense of dread, of guilt, of fear that held them all in its grip as they silently awaited the consequences of their actions. Every moment seemed to stretch on for an eternity, and the darkness only served to deepen their feeling of trepidation and unease. The group was silent as they contemplated their fate. They had come to this place unknowingly, and now their lives hung in the balance. The witch's malevolent energy saturated the room, and the friends felt as if they were being weighed down by an invisible force. Finally, the hooded figure spoke again. His words were grave and final. "Someone in the group must offer themselves as a vessel to contain the witch's spirit," he said. Fear and uncertainty ran through the group as the tension was palpable. The friends had come here seeking help, but instead they found a different kind of horror. Some months earlier, one of the friends, unaware of the consequences and in a moment of reckless abandonment and youthful naivety, they had decided to experiment with a forbidden ritual mentioned in a grimoire, experimenting into the unknown and tapping into supernatural energy. Little did they know their actions would awaken the malevolent spirit of a long-forgotten witch. Since that time, the friends saw spectres and whispers on every corner, feeling drained of energy both physically and in their soul. They sought answers and the help of their friends, leading to their current dilemma, with the occultist promised them aid and help. What seemed like an eternity passed before anyone spoke. Finally, one of the friends stood up and bravely stepped forward. He was willing to become the vessel, he said, if it meant saving the others. With a heavy heart, the group watched as the hooded figure sealed his fate with a simple gesture. In that moment, they realized they had found the strength to confront the darkness and the courage to face it together. Emma felt her heart torn between the fear of the witch's wrath and the dread of sacrificing one of her own. She was aware of the consequences of this decision, and although her stomach churned with uncertainty, she knew she had no other option. She had to do this for the safety of her friends. And with a deep breath, Emma stepped forward. Though her voice was unwavering, inside she was trembling, a wave of conflicted emotions washing over her. She was scared of what the ritual might do to her, but she was also determined to do whatever it took to protect her friends. The candles flared to life, their flames dancing wildly, and the air was charged with an arcane energy. Emma was confronted with the reality of her decision, and her heart sank. She felt like she was standing on the edge of a cliff, ready to jump into the abyss, not knowing what would happen when she fell. She wanted to turn back, to take it all back, but she was too far gone. With a heavy heart, Emma felt her feet sink into the runes as the ritual began. The ancient witch cackled through Emma's mouth, a bone-chilling sound that seemed to echo from the abyss. Emma could feel the raw power coursing through her veins, and even though she was determined to protect her friends, she could not help but feel a sense of despair as she faced the consequences of her actions. With a final thunderous crash that reverberated through the air, the ritual concluded. Emma's body hit the ground, her soul now irrevocably tied to the witch. who was bound in a prison of ancient symbols, glowing ominously. The hooded figure raised his hands in a gesture of finality, and his hooded gaze met each of the friends in turn. "You have made the ultimate sacrifice," he intoned, his voice heavy with reverence and dread. "The witch is contained, but her influence will linger. You must be on your guard, for the line between ally and adversary is thin." As the occultist evaporated into the shadows, the friends were left to the oppressive silence of the basement. The air felt heavier, and Emma's lifeless form lay as a vessel harboring the malevolent spirit they had sought to contain. Days passed, turning into haunted nights as the friends struggled with the aftermath of their choices. Emma's body, now a puppet of the witch's dark whims, roamed the city at night, installing fear and dread in all who encountered it. The friends were racked with guilt and became outcasts in their own lives. The city seemed to echo their deeds, transforming into a nightmarish urban landscape where shadows whispered of ancient curses and secrets long forgotten. As the weeks progressed, they noticed strange changes within themselves. Dreams were haunted by visions of the witch, and a sinister influence crept into their minds. Paranoia festered, and trust eroded as the witch's cackling laughter echoed in the depths of their souls. The friends found themselves struggling to reconcile their own desires with the demands of the ancient witch. The desire to survive and save themselves from the encroaching darkness pitted them against each other, and the friends found themselves torn between doing what was right and what would save them from impending doom. As their desperation grew, so did their inner turmoil, with some of them coming to accept the witch's demands and others determined to fight them. With each passing day, the friends found themselves torn between despair and hope, between loyalty to each other and loyalty to themselves. With each passing day, the choice between saving themselves or sacrificing their own desires and beliefs became harder and harder. In the end, the friends were left with a choice they were not sure they could ever come back from.